there was a time when we knew she was wanting to step away, and she was only coming up from San Diego, like, I think one Wednesday a month. I think maybe it started at 2, and then when she wasn't there, she had Reverend Sandy Scott, she had Linda Logan, who early on was involved with the hayride with her. She had Sally Fisher, she had Marianne Williamson, Nadia took over a couple of times, and so they kept rotating, right? And I was one week when she was there, I was standing at the front door, because usually there's music and then Murray will say, and here's Louise, you know, just like Johnny Carson. And I was standing there, and I turned to her and I said, you keep asking all these women to run this hayride, and you've known me for a while, and I think I can handle this group very well, and I feel like this is a room filled with hundreds of men, and there are no men, except for me at the Center for Living, there are very few men in LA that are at the forefront in terms of teachers and processors in this. And I said, I'm certainly willing to try it if you are so inclined. And so she called me, I think, the next day and asked me that she was doing the same person every Wednesday night, but the following month there was the fifth Wednesday. So she said, will you do the fifth Wednesday? And it was after I did that she got some feedback, and I think that's when I got this letter. My name is Stuart Altschuler. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, or MFT, and I grew up in New York, lived in West Palm Beach for 11 years, moved to LA in '86, and I left LA behind in 2007 and moved to a little bit of heaven called Humboldt County in Ferndale in Northern California, way Northern California, and I love it here. So I have been working with particularly people with AIDS or HIV and the gay community, gay and lesbian community since 1986. I've also been doing substance abuse and addiction counseling since I started in '74. When I was in LA, I was the facilitator of the hayride from about 1991 or so until I moved away from LA in 2007. I was also the first executive director, the founding executive director for the Los Angeles Center for Living, which was founded by Marianne Williamson and a bunch of other good people. And had a private practice in Florida, Los Angeles, Ferndale, but particularly right now in Ferndale, I teach at the Redwoods Community College in the Addiction Studies program, so I'm actually training new addiction counselors and working there, and I love doing that. I feel like I'm an elder now, and it's time for me to pass on my experience and wisdom to the next generation coming behind me. And I'm smiling and laughing, but it just is really what it feels like, and it feels right. So there was a social aspect to it, many friends there, and especially during the 90s and stuff when a lot of people were sick, there was almost no separating what went on Wednesday night with what was going on in general. It's just that we all came together on Wednesday nights for love and support. And, it was a social thing too, before, during, and after, and for years to come. I mean, there are people that are friends of mine, even though I'm not even in LA anymore, because of the hayride and other things that I did down there. So. So this is the letter that Louise wrote to the group when she was leaving. Dear Hayriders, it is with sadness and with love that after 6.5 years I turn over the hayride to my successor, Stuart Altschuler. Stuart will be in charge from now on, and I know he will do a wonderful job. There was a time for me to really There was a time for me to rally the early forces when AIDS first came upon the scene. It was a destiny assignment. Now it is time for me to leave, and it is time for a man to run the hayride. As you know, I no longer live in Los Angeles. I must turn my energies in other directions. It is not possible for me to be with you tonight. I have gone to Northern California. It has taken me quite some time to find the perfect successor. I have watched Stuart's work for some time, and I am impressed with his integrity, his knowledge, and his enormous heart. It is his heart that enables him to do his work with such compassion and understanding. From rebirthing to running the Los Angeles Center for Living to courageously going to Russia to help the AIDS fight there, he is first class all the way. I know you are all in good hands. I have loved you all during these past 6.5 years. From the first 6 guys in my living room in the early days through our many changes to where the hayride is today. I want to acknowledge Murray Salem for all the caring work he is contributing, and also all the wonderful mic runners, the healing table volunteers, my dear Nadia, Bob Milrad, and many others who do so much. You have all taught me so much. You have helped me grow, and I thank you. I love you, and so it is.